There's a messy, tangled web sitting quietly in the corner of your garage or basement right now, and standing in the middle of it is a small, pale spider with legs so long and thin they barely look real. You've called it a daddy longlegs your whole life. Here's a question for you before we go any further. Have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself if the thing everyone told you about this spider growing up is even true? Because here's the twist almost nobody expects. When most people say, daddy longlegs, they're actually talking about three completely different creatures without even realizing it. There's the crane fly, a harmless flying insect that looks like an oversized mosquito. There's the harvestman, a small, round-bodied creature with insanely long legs that isn't technically a spider at all. And then there's the one we're actually talking about today, the cellar spider, the one you'll find hanging out in that messy web in your garage right now. So let's ask the big question everyone grew up hearing. Is it true that this spider is the most venomous one on Earth, but its fangs are just too short and weak to ever bite you? Stick with me for the next few minutes, because the real answer is stranger, and honestly a lot more interesting than the playground legend. First, let's clear up the two imposters quickly, because they're actually where a big chunk of this confusion started. Crane flies don't have venom at all. Some species don't even have working mouth parts as adults, so biting anything isn't even physically possible for them. Harvestmen don't have venom either. No fangs, no venom glands, nothing built for injecting anything into you. When they feel threatened, they release a foul-smelling defensive fluid instead, more like a skunk's strategy than a spider's. Neither of these creatures could bite you even if they somehow wanted to. That leaves the cellar spider, the only true spider of the group. And here's where the myth actually gets interesting instead of just being wrong. Cellar spiders do have fangs. They do have venom. And contrary to what you probably heard as a kid, they absolutely can bite a human being. Researchers have even tested this directly. On one well-known televised experiment, an arachnologist let a cellar spider bite him on purpose just to settle the debate once and for all. The bite happened, and then almost nothing happened after that. No pain worth mentioning, no swelling, no reaction at all beyond the tiny prick of the bite itself. A follow-up scientific study years later backed that result up completely, showing the venom simply isn't built to do anything meaningful to a creature our size. So, where did this whole deadliest spider alive idea even come from in the first place? Here's a guess. Have you ever noticed cellar spiders hanging around in the exact same dark corners where you'd expect to find something actually dangerous, like a black widow? That's not a coincidence, and it's also not because the cellar spider is secretly more venomous. Cellar spiders are known for hunting down and killing far more dangerous spiders, black widows included, and people assumed that meant their venom had to be even stronger. In reality, venom barely factors into it. Those long, spindly legs let a cellar spider stay just out of striking range while it wraps a dangerous opponent in silk from a safe distance, slowly immobilizing it without ever needing a single drop of especially potent venom. Here's something you've probably seen without knowing what it meant. Ever walked past one of these webs, bumped it slightly, and watched the spider suddenly start spinning and vibrating violently in place, almost blurring into a smudge? What do you think that's actually for? It's not panic, and it's not an attack. That rapid whirling motion is a defense mechanism, deliberately blurring its own outline so a predator or a curious human finger has a much harder time pinning down exactly where its actual body is. And this is where we finally get to the real reason behind this video's title, why you should genuinely never touch one of these. It's not because it's dangerous to you, it's because you're dangerous to it. Cellar spiders are built almost unbelievably fragile. Grab one, even gently, and there's a very real chance a leg simply detaches on the spot, a defense strategy that lets the spider escape while leaving a leg behind as a decoy. It sounds like a reasonable trade-off until you realize how much that spider actually depends on every single one of those legs. Losing even one can force it to relearn how to walk and balance in its own web, and losing several at once makes that relearning process even harder. A spider that looks completely fine hanging in a corner might already be living with fewer legs than it started with, all because someone once decided to touch it out of curiosity. So what is this fragile little creature actually doing for you while it sits quietly in that corner you've been meaning to clean for months? A whole lot more than most people realize. Cellar spiders feed on mosquitoes, flies, ants, moths, small cockroaches, and, as we already covered, other far more dangerous spiders that wander too close to their web. That messy, irregular tangle you've been ignoring or knocking down with a broom isn't a sign of neglect. It's a functioning trap, quietly working through your home's actual pest problem every single night while you're asleep. So here's the real answer to that question from the very beginning. No, this isn't the most venomous spider in the world, and yes, it absolutely can bite you. It just doesn't matter if it does. The legend had the danger pointed in exactly the wrong direction the entire time. The real risk was never to you. It was always to the fragile little creature, quietly keeping your house cleaner than you ever gave it credit for. If this finally settled a debate you've been having since elementary school, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people still repeating a myth that's been wrong for decades. Let me know in the comments, did you grow up believing this spider could kill you if its fangs were just a little longer? Subscribe if you want more videos uncovering the truth behind the creatures most people completely misunderstand. See you in the next one.